Hey there. This is the first episode of our IT Mastermind podcast, and the first subject at hand is something uh, many of us are dealing day to day, and it's all about the cloud, server consolidation, virtualization, this kind of stuff. Let's talk a bit about what's happening in server consolidation and cloud-based projects. Usually people tend to focus on the technology and hardware, and that's pretty much natural, especially for IT professionals. This is what we do the best. This is what people expect us to be most able in. And so we tend to focus on, servers, which kind of hardware we would want to buy, electricity and cooling, whole infrastructure issues. Sometimes you need to actually run a merge project where you merge several types of hardware, several labs or computer rooms, and you tend to focus on the technological aspects. That is, which virtualization related products we want to use. Is it VMware? Is it Microsoft Hyper-V? Is it Citrix Zen? Is it Oracle's virtual machines, HP's virtual machines, IBM AIX LPARs, and so on? And what happens is we can get pretty much good results in this area, but you'll probably find that such projects that tend to focus on the technological sides are in danger. They are at risk. And you may ask yourself, well, what is the reason for this risk? Why are those challenges? Why is the hardware becoming the less important issue in the project implementation? Well, let me tell you something. It's all about people. It's always about people. Every project is first and mostly about people. And we as an IT professionals have to bear this in mind. We have to burn this into our minds because it's very easy for us to focus on the technology. Now, when we're referring to server consolidation and the cloud and how do I consolidate all my hardware, how do I run my cloud, we have to, I think you'd agree with me that the cloud and server consolidation is all about getting you the flexibility you need to be able and do the sharing of resources to save time and money. So when you want to set up server consolidation or run it within a cloud, it's all about having this flexibility to move resources from here to there, use them for any projects that need them very quickly. And it's about sharing resources because you don't want to buy again and again and again for each group. You want to be able and share and distribute resources at will. And all this leads to saving time and money. Now, how does all this relate to people? Let's see. Firstly, well, not firstly, but one of the main items is we're talking about a merge of teams. And maybe merge is not the best word to describe it, but because the teams, you may have a project of product A and product B, and you don't actually, HR, from HR perspective, you don't necessarily merge those different teams in each project into one team, and I'm referring to IT professionals, for example. But you practically have to let them, you have to get them on the same page. So they have to understand each one's needs and make sure that when you're doing the server consolidation, it will not happen that every team will buy different kinds of hardware or integrate it differently. So basically, you need the IT teams of each project that you want to consolidate its servers into one infrastructure. You have to make sure they are working in line, they're on the same page. Now, it also means that you have to unify procedures. So if somebody has a procedure on how to clone a virtual machine, or how to use templates, or whether he should use templates or not, or whether he should use snapshots, like VMware snapshots, and how many, and for how much disk space would be allocated to this. So we're talking about unifying the procedures for maintaining the IT infrastructure. And you may think by now, well, I'd expect an organization that has, IT department to be able and deploy its procedures across the company. Well, in theory, it's practically so, and it may be so in most of the cases, but in many cases there are deviations. And in many cases they are acknowledged and approved by the central IT department, but still you could have lots of procedures. So when you are going to merge all this into a single cloud or several clouds that serve all those teams, you don't have any option other than unify the procedure. Otherwise, the whole the whole concept of the cloud and server consolidation for using it as a cloud platform is you have to have it standardized in many aspects: the hardware, the network, the cooling, the equipment, everything. But then you're talking about standards. You have to make sure that maybe the teams should standardize on iSCSI or just fiber or both. But still, you're talking about making an effort to set up the whole project to use a unified set of standards. And then you're talking about unifying or aligning the goals. So maybe one IT team's goal is to get additional disk space for its project, while another group is focused on adding additional blades to its blade center or increasing the memory in its servers. But then you may have a situation where group A has lots of memory but lacks disk space, while group B has lots of disk space and lacks memory. So if you merge or if you align those two goals into just one, you can be able and see that they can actually become one goal. So if you merge those two hardware packs, you can have a single entity that solves both those project needs. So it's server consolidation and creating a cloud in your organization and enabling the sharing and the saving of money of time is basically based on aligning the goals of the IT departments. And sometimes it could trigger aligning the goals of the projects. Now, it takes time and effort, but it's actually a good thing. It doesn't mean necessarily that everyone needs to be doing the same thing, the same project, or serving only other project. It means that you have to put an effort to try and align in those projects and needs. And sometimes it will not be possible, but you have to make an effort. And over time, reduce the amount of exceptions you allow to exist outside the procedures and the goals that you have aligned. Now, to start up this kind of project, as in any project, but here especially, you need to set up a leader. You need to set up somebody who has the ability for empathy, so you can listen to all the teams and the project's needs and goals, and he has the capacity to emotional capacity to hold this in his mind and act upon it without hurting people. And he needs to have the initial the initial grant of authority from top management or just management, but over time his results and the project results will be based on the leader's ability to communicate with the teams, with the team leaders, with their customers, and make a connection between the task at hand that needs to be done to get this server consolidation project rolling, and and each of those tasks that he would enroll team members, IT professionals to do, each of those goals needs to have a direct contact to the personal goals that everybody in each team has. So for example, if you need somebody to in a specific team to do the storage consolidation across the teams, just collect the information and present the teams with options to do the alignment and the integration of the storage. You need to make sure you select the best person, both from his ability perspective, the time that he can spend on it, and make sure that it contributes directly to his personal goals. So if he's interested very much in learning more about storage and clever deployment of storage across the organization, then this is a very good choice. And lastly, we'll have more information that we can discuss over this item. It's not the last episode, but I think very important item to bear in mind for the leader is to make sure that the team member and his manager are allowing spending the time on this project, because in most cases, and this is another subject, a whole different subject. In most cases, every team in the organization, every IT professional team still has its own departmental tasks and goals, and the whole consolidation project may not have enough time allocated from the departmental pool, at least at the first stages. And so in some cases, the team members assisting in setting the whole server consolidation and cloud project in place, they may need to have to spend some personal time, after the day job time, to get this rolling. And this is one more important reason why the leader should have the empathy for the other team members, and he needs to have the skills to be able and find personal goals that could be achieved for each team member as part of his contribution to the whole server consolidation and cloud setting project. Okay, I'd love to hear your thoughts about all this. What other items you think should be on the agenda for this kind of project, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.